Namaste ma'am, good morning. Myself Sai Krishna Ram, student of MSc first year. I am going to give my presentation on the topic molecular clock. First of all, thank you so much ma'am for your efforts to make this presentation. Thank you so much. So let's proceed to this presentation. In this presentation, I am going to tell about what is molecular clock, what is the need of molecular clock, on which theory it is based, its significance and how to calibrate molecular clock. So the whole concept of molecular clock based on its name, we can split it and understand the molecular clock. First of all, what is molecular clock? Molecules means biomolecules that is present in living organism, that is the DNA, RNA and proteins. Then clock. We know clock is meant for detecting time. Here also the clock in molecular clock has same function to detect the rate of molecular evolution. So now the question arises, what is molecular evolution? First we should understand about what is evolution. So evolution is the process of change through time. Or we can say that evolution is the descent with modification from pre-existing species. So what is molecular evolution? When evolution occurs on the basis of biomolecules, that evolution called as molecular evolution. So molecular evolution is based on the process of change in the sequence composition of cellular molecules such as DNA, RNA and proteins across generations. So how can we define molecular clock? We can define it as a technique that uses the mutation rate of biomolecules to reduce the time in prehistory when two or more life forms are diverged. So now question comes, what is rate and what is mutation? We know rate is nothing but change with respect to time. And what is mutation? Mutation is the change in nucleotide sequence of DNA. We know the main cause of evolution is mutation. When mutation occurs, it leads to formation of new species and evolution also occurs because changes occurs. So mutation is of three types. It may be favorable, unfavorable or it may be neutral. The favorable mutation leads to survival of species, formation of new species and it leads to reproduce the species. And neutral mutation also. Neutral mutation means when mutation occurs at slow rate. But until and unless it comes to a considerable amount of mutation, it leads to formation of species. But the unfavorable mutation leads to the death of species because it is unsuitable for the species. Only favorable mutation and a neutral mutation, when it comes to the considerable amount, it leads to formation of species and it leads to evolution. So the main cause of evolution is mutation. And by the help of molecular clock, we can calculate the mutation rate that leads to molecular evolution. So the biomolecular data used for such calculation are usually nucleotide sequence for DNA and RNA and amino acid sequence for proteins. Why these biomolecules are used? Because these biomolecules are called information molecules. We know DNA consists of polynucleotide or we can call it as deoxyribonucleotide and RNA consists of ribonucleotide. And protein is a linear sequence of amino acid. If there occurs any change in the sequence of nucleotide or amino acid, then we can use it to detect the relationship of different organisms. By this we can calculate the relationship between different organisms whether they are similar or they are dissimilar. If two species having similarity in their nucleotide sequence or amino acid sequence, then the two species arises from common ancestor. But if there is dissimilarity occur in their nucleotide sequence or amino acid sequence, then the two species arises from different species. So this was molecular clock. So what was the history behind this clock? Now we discuss about it. So scientists Linus Pauling and Emil Zucker-Kandel came up with the theory of molecular clock in 1962. They noticed that evolutionary changes occur at a constant rate. The constant rate is based on another theory, that is neutral theory of molecular evolution. So now another theory comes, that is the neutral theory of molecular evolution. So now we see what is neutral theory of molecular evolution. So the molecular clock concept is based on this theory. So what is this theory? Neutral theory of evolution was given by Moto Kimura in 1968. According to this theory, most mutation or genetic variation at molecular level are of neutral or nearly neutral value. It is only chance or random drift which outlines a novel collection of mutants into a group divergent from the parental population. So what occurs here? Here slow rate of mutation occurs. So million of years needed for considerable change. So the small mutation have a neutral value. That's called the neutral evolution. Neutral theory recognizes the most morphological, physiological, and behavioral organism evolved chiefly by natural selection. What is natural selection? We know it was given by Darwin. And Darwin's theory of natural selection tells us that nature selects the fittest one, which is suitably adapted to the environment. This species survives and others are eliminated. So neutral theory recognizes the most morphological, physiological, and behavioral organism evolved chiefly by natural selection and are based on base pair substitution. Most of the variation at molecular level have little effect on fitness because all the difference in base pair sequence are not translated into differences at protein level. So now we see how molecular clock works. So molecular clock show a linear relationship. The x-axis should show the evolutionary time since the species diverged, and the y-axis would show the number of changes in the nucleotide between the homologous chromosome in the two species. If we take this x-axis and y-axis on the basis of nucleotide difference and time, then we show that it shows a linear relationship because we know molecular clock hypothesis based on the constant rate of evolution. So it will be a linear relationship. So how molecular clock works? By comparing the amino acid composition of proteins in present day organisms leads to assumption of the molecular changes that occurred in past. The more yearly in the past an ancestor diverged into two present day species, more changes accumulate in the polypeptide in two species. It means the number of amino acid modification in the line of descent can be used as a measure of time of the divergence of two species from a common ancestor. The molecular clock or evolutionary clock at molecular level determines the rate at which many mutations become fixed. So, what is the concept of molecular clock? The steady rate of change in nucleotide sequence and amino acid sequence over time leads to evolutionary divergence between organisms. Greater mutational difference between organisms, the greater is their evolutionary distance. Rate of accumulation of mutational changes in genome and proteins is constant over a period of time. So basically, molecular clock hypothesis based on the concept that the evolution occurs at a constant rate over a period of time, and it takes millions of years for evolution of two species. So what is the example of molecular clock? The best example is cytochrome C protein. So cytochrome C is a protein in respiratory chain is present in most organisms. Change in amino acid sequences of cytochrome C in different organisms present uniform rate of evolution. The gene coding for this protein probably appeared very early in evolution and was favored by natural selection. As a result, few mutation, the sequence of some of amino acid is altered. Cytochrome C for horses and other mammals differs in 5.1 amino acids and both diverged from other mammals about 90 million years ago. It means on an average one amino acid has occurred every 17.6 million years. So the average amino acid difference between reptilian and mammalian cytochrome C is 14.8, and these two groups have diverged about 300 million years ago. At this rate of one amino acid per 7.6 million years, the plants and the animals are estimated to have diverged at least 792 million years ago. This figure is close to 800 million years ago, estimated by paleontologists. So this was the best example for molecular clock hypothesis. Now, how to assumption of molecular clock? Let's we see. So the concept of evolutionary clock or molecular clock based on some assumption. What are those? The mutation at molecular level are incorporated at fixed or regular rates over a time. The fixation of molecular mutation doesn't occur on their adaptive or selective value, but on a fixed rate. This is a permanent rate. The proportional rate of fixation of mutation in one gene relative to the rates of fixation of mutation in another gene remains the same throughout any line of descent. The lines of descent leading from a common ancestor to all its descendants have similar rates of fixed mutation. So this was the assumption of molecular clock. So now the in my presentation you can see the below diagram I have drawn. So here we can understand that 50 million years ago the two descendant lineages had a common ancestor. After 25 million years the two descendant lineages have diverged. Each has had a single base mutation, so that the lineages now differ by two bases. After 50 million years, the two descendant lineages have diverged further by another base mutation. And now the lineages now differ by four bases. So this was the mutation that occurs in the nucleotide sequences of DNA and how the species diverged from one another from the ancestral one by showing the rate and the time at which or how many times needed for the species to diverge from one another from the ancestral one. By this, we can clearly understand how molecular clock works. So, now how to calibrate molecular clock? That is the most thing. That is the most interesting thing. That how to calibrate the molecular clock. So, with using either a strict or relaxed clock method of genetic analysis, the most important consideration is how to calibrate the molecular clock. Assume, for example, the researcher have two DNA sequences that have a content difference of 5%. From this information alone, it is not possible to tell whether these sequences have diverged from each other at a rate of 1% per 1 million years over a period of 5 million years, or whether they have diverged at a five-fold higher rate over a period of just 1 million years. This is equivalent to trying to determine the average speed of a car merely by looking at its odometer. To deduce the average speed, one would also need to know the length of time for which the car has been traveling. Thus, to calibrate the molecular clock, one must know the absolute age of some evolutionary divergence event, such as the split between mammals and bats. An estimate of the timing of this event can be gained by examining the fossil record or by correlating this particular instant of evolutionary divergence with some geological event of known antiquity, such as the formation of a mountain range that split the geographic range of a species into, thus initiating a process of speciation. Once the evolutionary rate is calculated using a calibration, this calibration can then be applied to other organisms to estimate the timing of evolutionary events. So let's take an interesting example how to calibrate it. So the example is fossils suggest that the most recent common ancestor of human and orangutans lived 13 million years ago. To calibrate the human molecular clock, we can compare human and orangutan DNA sequence to determine the amount of nucleotide substitution, that is D, and that has occurred. The rate of nucleotide substitution, that is number of substitution per lineage per million years, that is R, can be calculated as R equal to D by 2T, where D is the proportion of base pairs that differ between the two sequences and T is the time of most recent common ancestor in million years ago. So here the time is 13. So by putting it, we can calculate or calibrate the rate. So this was what we calculate the molecular clock. So what is the significance of molecular clock? The significance of molecular clock is comparison of changes in the sequence of nucleotide in DNA and RNA or in the sequence of amino acid in different proteins helps in evolutionary relationship between distantly related organisms. So by this method of molecular clock, we can calculate the time when two species are diverged. The particular time we can calculate it by this molecular clock or by this molecular evolution of molecular clock. We can see how two species are related with each other, what was their ancestral one, from which they are ages. So all of this we can clearly understand by the molecular clock. Mainly the time we can calculate. So molecular clock help in preparation of phylogenetic trees. Also by this method we can calculate or we can prepare a phylogenetic tree. We know what is phylogenetic tree. So phylogenetic tree is a two-dimensional graph showing evolutionary relationship between organisms or genes from various organisms. And it is represented by branches and nodes, we know. So phylogenetic tree, or it is a visually presenting evolutionary relationship among a group of organisms, is through illustration that is called phylogenetic tree. So by this molecular clock also we can prepare or we can construct a phylogenetic trees and can relate the organism with each other. And what is phylogenetic? Also we know that phylogeny is the history of events by which species or other taxa have successfully arisen from common ancestor. So this was the significance of molecular clock. Now what was the problems or what is the problems that are related to the molecular clock, the limitations? we must discuss about it that all changes are not neutral. We know that molecular clock is based on the neutral theory. Means the evolution occurs at a constant rate and having a neutral value. When small mutation occurs, so this mutation called as a neutral value, having neutral value, because when until it reach with a considerable amount, then it can lead a evolution of species. So all changes that occurs in mutation may not be neutral, it may be unfavorable, that leads to death of the species. So that thing, and the role of changes is influenced by natural selection. Certain changes are favored while some are eliminated. This one is the natural selection, and that's why the molecular clock is not able to clarify this concept. And the structure of certain important genes is conserved over long period, their mutation rate is very slow. So that is the problems that we find in cases of molecular clock. So that's all about the molecular clock concept, what is its need and how to calibrate it, what is its significance, the examples and all the things. Thank you so much.